It comes down to who plays better. On Hard Rock Mine, to start us off, gym grab action. We've seen a lot of new maps come in and out of rotation, but Hard Rock Mine is always a favorite. And speaking of favorites, no clear favorite between these two. Only a 3% differential.
And let's just note the fact that the 3% differential is on the side of Chasmac instead of the #1 team in the region who's defeated them for the past couple of months. Chasmac is still getting predicted over them, and that might be because they've got a couple more of those bigger names, but Reject are definitely the favourites coming into this one regardless.
Well, we'll see the first pick go the side of Chasmac this time. Ruffs selected by Kenji. Note some of the brawlers banned out as well. On one side, RT gotten rid of. We also see Meg go to the wayside. Also Amber out of the question. Some of the best brawlers in the game at the moment, and it's going to standardize the gameplay to see these guys eliminated from the equation. Janet selected now by Reject, and they have one more brawler to go with. Probably going to opt to go with their mid brawler off of this second selection, but they could get creative and use their last pick for that purpose. I just don't really see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Janet pick. Obviously going to be able to splash through those sandbags pretty nicely, take him down with only a couple of shots, so might kind of make Kenji not want to play that gadget and go with something a little bit different, but Byron going to be the pick coming up second, and, you know, if they had this Meg pick, then maybe I'd say, you know what, go for it. Go for a bit of Byron, because that reduced healing is no longer with Meg, but on its own, I'm not sure what they're going to go for. Maybe they'll try and tank it down one of the sides and just go for it as their last pick, but surely Chasmac might catch on to something like that now.
I'm personally hitting myself a little bit because every time I see Byron selected in this region, I get a little bit surprised, and then I have to bring myself back to reality and go, no, this is actually a fairly popular pick here in East Asia, and they make good use of it. He has quite a bit of flexibility, just doesn't really have the most DPS to offer, but a lot of footsies at play, just staying just out of each other's range. We'll probably see Byron get a whole lot of value there, and it also enables some good close-up play. Sure, they decide to go for a tank as one of their final selections. Chasmac Gaming, EA, they're not really gearing up to face versus tanks. Yes, they have the wall break possibility if they decide to go with that star power for Kenji. Kuru, though, not going to pump out a ton of DPS as Gus, but still a very viable mid matchup. Here's a tank counter. Stu, always a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I like Stu, and especially when you stick some of these East Asian players on it, it really does just flow. It looks so beautiful when they play it. They get the dashes, the heals, everything goes on, and it just all comes as a cohesive unit. That one brawl can really be incredible. Back to Reject for this last pick now, and I'm kind of intrigued to see what they go for, considering they went for the Byron as the second pick. Can't say it's something that I'm really used to, being pretty much just on Europe and the South American regions this year. I haven't seen it, and I'm not sure it's something specifically down to this region, but they're going to go with the max with it, and that kind of makes me question why Byron even more.
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, we've seen the healer and the speed combo together before. We also know that Max is a total favorite in this region. I just don't really see the cohesiveness here. But if there's anything that we can rely on the East Asian players to bring it to the forefront, it's simply hammering down the max amount of mechanics that you can dedicate on a single brawler. We repeatedly see the East Asian scene push these brawlers to their limits and explore the skill cap of what each of these characters has to offer. It is going to be quite difficult, I think, to face versus the Stu, particularly because he's able to keep that distance so well, but it's all going to come down to how precisely it plays out, how these players perform at the helm of each one of these brawlers. Already, some good healing in onto a choppy. Menmi doesn't really have to fight a lane on the right side, it doesn't look like, but also at the same time, Chasmac are opting not really to play that lane at the beginning, just taking a bit of time to shift Kuru onto that area.
Yeah, maybe that seems like kind of a little bit of a mistake, all things considered. Memmi's been able to heal up Chappie quite nicely and get him a couple of gems through the mid, but now Kuru's playing this side and he's got that Gus shield as well, a little bit of a pinch coming in and another set of sandbags burning down, and that's two gone already. Kuru only has one more, and now a Chappie, and Memmi surely pinched him down. That should be a takedown, but the third sandbag goes down, and yet again, what a waste.
Yeah, the wall break is probably useful, but that power-up being all the way on the side of Reject is going to hurt them in the long run. Also note, sandbags are gone. Melty on the left side, running over that left lane, and now sort of setting up residence in the back line. So Choppy and Menmi still trying to hold fast. Levi taking a lot of damage, is able to get the last laugh on that one interaction. Here can come a big play from a Choppy, appropriate reaction from Kenji as he pops that shield, gearing up for a defense. But a Choppy is exactly where he wants to be. Very aggressive play on the left side too, where Stu's kept at bay. Almost a kill confirm onto a Choppy as well with a use of Kooky Popper, but still, Reject remain in the lead. Chasmac Gaming EA rapidly approaching. They just need to win this matchup on the left side, and then they can start to flex a bit of pressure on the interior.
Yeah, Levi takes flight. Not the biggest help to Achape here, as he's going to be taking a lot of fire as they can't shoot at Levi. They've got to find another target. 9 gems in hand now, and he does have to retreat. Nice speed away, and Memi keeps him alive just a little bit longer, but Levi up top, just trying to get the pinch down. Last gem does spawn, and it's a free pickup for him. Why not just go for that and start the countdown? He is up top, though, and might be working for another super. Does get it, and now it's looking beautiful for Reject so far. Gems drop as well, and Chappie not in the best spot. Does have to use that phase shifter. Falls down, but Kuru's not going anywhere. 186 HP, and Levi collects the rest of those gems from the Chasmac side. And Reject, they start the countdown again, but it's with a lot more gems this time.
There's a potential for a comeback, but it's going to have to be an absolute miracle. Great defense from a Choppy. Levi not going to go anywhere except to the skies, and Minmi safe and sound. Spins already. Seems like...
I feel here, I do feel like maybe it kind of is a little bit of a GG well played, rather than in other regions where it's just complete BM. But we'll see if they do continue to do that as we go into the second game here at Sharp 8. Going to use that phase shifter. Didn't tank the damage, but at least it brought him a little bit further away from Kenji, who's going to be pretty good in that auto-aim range, especially with this Kooky Popper, and does use it once more. Shield available as well, and might be wise to put it onto Melty and allow him to go aggressive.
A lot of emphasis here from Chasmac on applying pressure onto Minmi and Achapi. They're working together as a dynamic duo. Also interesting approach from Minmi. We don't see a whole lot of Byron, so we don't see a whole lot of his gadgets. He is running gadget number 2, which can enable him to get a lot of DPS up close. You might need to use that if Melty gets too close to him. A lot of pressure applied on the top left side here. Choppy and Levi able to get a takedown together. Kenji now trying to pressure and gets 1 kill. Choppy very, very low, but Kenji wasn't able to finish things off. Minmi also reacting to Melty on the right side, and Reject stay alive with all these gems.
Yeah, you know you're a good player when you can win that Byron versus Stu matchup pretty much alone with no help, but Kenji's getting hit hard. Splash comes down as well, I guess, through the shield. Not going to burn down just yet, and that little gadget was still on the floor there from Melty. Kooky Popper could have been the play to go, but does wait out just a little bit longer, and they have control. They do have a bit of a thorn in the side with Levi coming in the back of them now, and it's going to be a difficult position. Drop the base place, and now he's going to be in an even worse position as they can't really fly under the radar, but over the left-hand side, he's going to go down, and Melty's going to maybe get out with one of these gems, but Chasmac Gaming definitely have a few more answers this game than in the previous.
Ouch, so close to salvation there for CMG EA, but they weren't able to get that last bit of damage out. Minmi came to the rescue. He had that super ready in just the right moment. Now looking to pick up gem number 8, but playing very conservatively. Takedown as well with the Kooky Popper. Levi might have to pick these up, and he does. He's ready to take to the skies if necessary, and here it comes. Kenji just a moment late, and he also didn't even have a gadget to finish off that kill onto Levi. Big destruction. As Reject heads up the right side, Kuru falls. Kenji has to be next. They got to get that 1 kill. Minmi and Achapi looking to pressure in. Good tanks, but Kuru still able to fend things off, but plays an appropriate defense. Minmi also completely surrounded. Not a good situation, as now Chasmac Gaming EA compound their lead.
Yeah, I mean, they got the reset. He almost got out. 1v1 couldn't be helped at the end there, but now all of the gems on the side of Chasmac Gaming EA. Complete flip of what we saw in the previous game, and it's got to be Melty. Got to go down now. Levi going to get the takedown on him, but Melty's going to survive just a little bit longer. A 1 follow-up shot, but Levi not going to find the...
Sort of inter-game development. We'll see if Reject are able to stamp that one with a no, bring around a win for themselves in this third game as things start to come to a head. We've most importantly seen CMG EA be conservative with some of these rough sandbags. Kuru not really using it to deny that Byron is hard. Looks like he's trying to shift off of that lane, but he's getting denied at every turn so far.
Yeah, another good start from Reject here, though. They start off with 5 gems to 0 this time, and Kenji's low. Maybe a follow-up shot from Minmi could have gone towards Kenji there instead of the other alternative, but Levi going to pick up the right-hand side with a little bit of help from his friend Achapi now as well. The shots coming in from the left-hand side. CMG trying to fight back, but wow, this might be too much of a lead for them to come back from straight off the start. This could be 7 gems if Achapi goes for this one.
My eyes are just glued to Levi right now. I mean, this guy just doesn't seem to have any limitations to what he can do. He'll play the lane, he'll completely swing around from behind, and despite CMG's best efforts to shrug him off, he comes back to punish them anytime he is out of position, doesn't even need any help. Here he comes once again, going straight to the backlines, takes down Kuru. Kenji is next up on the menu, and Melty for dessert, finally for that last shot. Levi's effectively gotten a team kill, and Reject get to reap the rewards collectively as Achapi runs it back with 10 gems.
I'm actually really glad you brought my focus to Levi here. Maybe I was focusing a little bit too much on Achapi through the mid, getting all these gems. He's playing so well. Getting kills with flight is not something you see every day, and he's getting multiple, one after another after popping off. We've got Achapi through that mid, but they're not looking as convincing as other months, and maybe it's not because they're playing bad, but Chasmac are just playing that little bit better than usual.
This is absolutely true. I mean, Chasmac, they're really holding their own in a lot of respects, but at the same time, I mean, Reject is playing extraordinarily. Levi, in particular, just popping off. But I think this could be kind of brawler dependent. So, as with all things, it comes back to the draft here on Hot Potato. Yet another map that is new in the Brawl Stars competitive map pool for now. We've seen it historically and with a little bit of draft in play, but now the meta has changed a lot. It's time to see this in the competitive scene. Here comes Penny as the first selection from Chasmac Gaming EA. No complaints on my side. It's very, very versatile. It's a great brawler, one of the best in the game at the moment, and a very viable first pick.
Yeah, extremely solid brawler. I like the Penny a lot, and especially when they've banned out Barley themselves. Dynamite, yet again, it might be an option here. We saw it on Brawl field goal, very solid, and the Unbreakable Walls aren't as useful for him on this map, I will say, or for throwers in general, but there are still a few here, the left and the right-hand side. Going to be blocked off by those Unbreakable Walls. Otis going to be the first pick from Reject coming out here, sorry. And I like it. You know, it kind of stops the, well, not stops the possibility of tanks, but definitely slows it down a little bit.
Well, could be another way that Reject decide to sort of enact their resistance towards tanks. Otis is a great start if they want to head down that road. Might be wise for them to pick up some of the tank counters here if they want to enable that for a last pick, but still, this is a map with some long lanes. And if you want to disrupt those lanes, then a very useful way to get rid of that is, well, getting rid of those walls. Brock is going to be one of the greatest ways to deal with that. And Reject now have that on their side, but Chasmac Gaming EA could get some things in their arsenal. They have decided to ban out Colonel Ruff, so that is moot for now. There's still plenty of other options to consider, and they'll also want to sort of counter out the Brock and make sure that they're not too vulnerable versus close range brawlers. Keep in mind, Carl is still in play too.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the Carl, I will say. I think it's pretty solid shout from you, but across the board, it kind of seems like Reject want to kind of maybe go for this little break open thing. Yeah, we're going to see the Chasmac squad going for that Carl instead of them. Definitely a solid pick as well, you know, considering they've got the Penny on their side. Can't throw down this turret and interrupt that super, the tailspin that Carl would be kind of bringing onto. So maybe good for them to get it out of the hands of Reject, but Chasmac going to take that one down. And so far, I do like what they brought to the table. You know, you made some very good points about why Penny's extremely good. Same with Carl as well. And they kind of building a very serious comp here.
You know, they just have to make sure that they cover all of those bases. They don't have the counter pick at their disposal. Colette selection from them does sort of eliminate a lot of possibilities for Reject. It counters out tanks and also is great for using on that safe. Also just one of the main things that can shut down Carl here in a lot of respects. So great prudent pick from Chasmac Gaming EA. No doubt Kuru will be able to explore the skill ceiling on that brawler. Now Reject have to come up with an appropriate counter pick. They have a lot of strong brawlers to try and counter here, and there's really no one-size-fits-all solution. BB is their choice here, and I like it. It's going to spice things up a lot. I think it'll be great versus the Carl, just not so much versus the Colette.
I will say, you know, with the shield, though, bit of batting stance in there. It does make it a little bit more capable against the Colette, but still definitely not the best matchup. Sure, she'll probably be staying away from that brawler, but gives it a little bit more of a foot in the door in that matchup. But I'm sure we'll be looking towards the Otis and the Brock to kind of deal with that, while the BB does focus on batting back and keeping that Carl under wraps over probably the right-hand side, I'd say. Maybe the left-hand side. Ooh, actually, no, they probably might even run through the middle. The thing is, but Warbreak's going to be coming down left, right, and center here from the Brock, so we'll see how he chooses to mold the map best.
Well, forget about the wall break. It's bush break for now. It'll allow things to be a bit easier for Choppy up mid. Levi just going straight for the safe. And yeah, he's taking a lot of damage, but does it really matter? He's already taken a decent chunk out of that safe. Melty and Kenji are ready to make their contributions on the safe zone. It's almost shutting things down to below what Reject has achieved so far. Minmi also trying to make his way to the opposing side. Levi doing much of the same. He's got to face versus that 1-2 super combo from Colette that can kill absolutely any brawler in the game. Still has a gadget at his disposal if he wants to have a bit more longevity, but so far it's all tied up. Minmi getting that first blow on the right side, Kenji taken down. This could be the opportunity to make some moves on the safe, but Levi is getting guarded really hard here by Kuru on the right side.
Yeah, I will say Scrap, when I said he's not even running batting stance, he's going to be running that speed. Gets the kill as well. The bubble comes out just in time and he takes him down. Wow. Damage, incendiary being built in as well, and the huge damage boost from that damage gear going to be coming down as well, and Achape pushing forward. Seems to just be leaving the damage up top, down the bottom, sorry, to be able to try and get some up top, but 37% to 60, looks like a worthwhile trade.
Well, Kuru is also getting his fair share of damage in on that safe. 50% left now. Trickling down to 47, just a 10% differential. Melty could make a big move in here if he finds an opening. Has that gadget, has that super ready to go. Kenji also ready with the turret. Levi might go for the base race. No, shut down by Kuru. Now this safe is melting. Kenji makes so much damage in here, and Kuru going for the final strike. It's Reject, unfortunately.
Get a bit of a bounce towards the safe rather than just going for the kill. Auto-aim a bubble there and you're going to be able to get the kill, have a bit more of a say in the game, but Levi starting things off away from the Colette this time might be a little bit more helpful.
Well, it seems like it's base race time, actually. We saw Melty absolutely trying his best to defend that. We'll see, though. Chasmac Gaming EA getting significant damage in. Carl just going to town on that safe. Melty now retreating to try and fight that lane on the left side. Levi also suffering a lot of damage along the way. Kenji trying to charge up that super as fast as he can. It provides you so much control. Mimi's really the main way of shutting things down in the turret department as well. Seems like he's a little more focused on damage for the time being, though. Circling around that right side. Great stuff from Kuru as well. Might fall thanks to that poison. Nope, just barely alive. And gets a lot of damage taken out of that safe. 57% remain for Reject on their save.
Yeah, can't really leave Kenji here, though. The Salty Barrel's definitely going to be quite helpful for him. Sharpie's going to come across and get some shots. Nice stuff from him. Not going to get the takedown just yet, and he is standing behind the safe, so a little bit cautious about that one as well. Does pick up the kill, and now they're in a wonderful position. Fully healed up on the side of Reject, and in a great position once more. Memmi, though, needs to be cautious. Melty doesn't have any flying hooks, so can't quite get into range of him without much being done, so definitely not the easiest of matchups for him now, but the tailspin being available, that's a bit of movement with it as well.
Well, Levi's got a bit of movement at his disposal too, except for him, it's passive. He has that star power active, bit of speed coming in here. Kuru has the combo once again, so Levi's just waiting things out. They do not have the lead, though, so it's going to be quite difficult. He's sort of setting the stage for his teammates, if anything, and waiting for Kuru to drop his guard or get a little impatient. Now also baiting out that turret. It's going to be that much more difficult for him to face on that lane. Melty silenced on the right side, but it doesn't even matter. He still got that kill. Now it's time for Kenji to lay into that safe. Pops down the Salty Barrel. Big damage in. And Kuru gets some damage, too. Farms up that super easy peasy, and another 10 health knocked off the safe. Kenji coming in for the final bit of damage, even throws down the turret for a bit extra, and Chasmac.
A lot of DPS out along with that as well, so nice stuff from him, but heading on into Ring of Fire, Reject are hoping for a different story, and Chasmac definitely want more of the same.
Well, different story, but maybe some of the same characters in that story. I'm anticipating some of the same brawlers to be banned out and some of the same ones to be selected. Penny, one of the main ones that I'm focusing in on, and maybe a bit of Janet too. We'll see what brawlers have been banned out to start things off and who gets that coveted first pick. RT already selected by Reject, sort of an insta-lock for them. Keep in mind some of the brawlers not banned out here. Amber, we see the Crow banned out for Chasmac Gaming EA. This could start to set the stage on Ring of Fire. B is their selection for now. Can't argue with that. Such a great brawler to shut down anyone at mid and also counter out a lot of things that can be viable as long as they get in your bushes.
I think B's a very smart pick, I will say, with RT on the board, as you said, Amber not going to be banned out, so still available to pick. If they don't choose to go for it themselves, B can do decent against that, get the slows, get the shots off when she's out in the open. You just got to hope that she doesn't really start to get in your bush and start to cause a bit of havoc up there. It needs to be dealt with quickly if you're going to be able to do it. But Stu going to be brought once again by Chasmac Gaming EA, and it didn't work in the first set. Maybe want to try it again and maybe play that a little bit better in the third.
Now, one thing that Stu's really, really good at, of course, besides mobility and being able to get up in your face if you're more of a squishy brawler, is he's able to avoid a lot of damage. And brawlers that rely in a lot of ways on getting that super consistently to maintain control, definitely looking at Lou here. Stu is actually quite good into those as long as you execute it well. And there's not a single doubt in my mind that over here in East Asia, the players just have the top shelf kind of execution once they get in on the battlefield. Minmi now reacting here with a Colonel Ruffs absolutely makes sense. You throw down those sandbags, you block out a lot of damage. Also with Penny off the table, courtesy of Chasmac Gaming EA, there are fewer options to get rid of some of these sandbags.
I think you've got it. Hit the nail right on the head there, because the sandbag's pretty much going to deal with whatever they've brought to the table so far. The B, the Stu, it's good against both of those. Janet going to come down as that last pick. More of that versatility. That's what it is. It's pretty much good against the majority of brawlers, not got too many counters. So very solid pick from Reject, especially as a third. They need something with that little bit of versatility. So Chasmac bring in pretty much anything. It's going to have a bit of a say in the matter. But Amber still available. Might be good against this Ruffs as well. Should be decent against the Janet also, so wouldn't be a terrible pick. Can burn down some of this grass and also throw those the puddles of oil towards the mid, and with this new gear slow people down.
I'm excited, man. I see the Amber pick. I'm all over it. Beautiful. I'm still unsure of exactly how this one is going to play out, but in my personal, of course, not world champion, not professional player experience, man, this is not fun to play into. You just have that oil sitting on the field, and it just slows you down consistently. You can start off the game by throwing down a super on a lane that you choose not to even play for the entire game, and just watch your third have a fun time on that lane as they're able to consistently and easily line up those shots. We'll see if Stu and B are really cut out for it. Keep in mind, they are facing into those sandbags. It will be quite difficult for the duration of those gadgets remaining on the field. So far, good use of the speed zone too, through getting those entry beats onto the zone. Minmi already throwing down those sandbags, easily dealt with by Kenji.
Yeah, he's getting some damage down though. Gadget going to be used by Charpy and bring him down. Nice stuff from him to get those connections, the follow-up and the gadget as well, obviously. Drop the base over the round side, proving so useful as well. Melty trying to aggress, should be taken down by Levi here. Doesn't manage to get another super, another Gasser heal along with it, and this is great start for Reject.
Levi on the Janet is a dangerous thing. Definitely something you ought to be coming into all of these matchups, considering and remembering as it is in recent memory. He's going to go for it once again, though. Already super to the back lines, trying to take down Kenji. Beautiful stuff as he gets that elimination and sort of cements his position on this back left, ready to pinch in behind Kuru. There it is with a Choppy enabling that pinch. 70% already claimed by Reject. Now with the slow, Choppy not too weakened, especially considering that, well, Levi's taking care of business on the enemy spawn.
I will say, you can put all the oil in the world down, but if you're not there to kill them, it doesn't matter if they're slowed or not. But this is 100% 8 here, and Reject completely walk away.
In shot calling, and most importantly, getting those pinches, getting enemies into positions that they legitimately were not able to escape from, enabled Reject to take some swift victories on separate lanes. We'll see a bit of a switch up though. Chasmac Gaming EA now playing Kenji up that left side, already taking down a Choppy and focusing his fire on Minmi with the takedown. Here comes Levi on the right side though, and a no-look shot to the back right. Kuru takes him down, and this is exactly the sort of angle that Chasmac Gaming EA envisioned they would be playing in that very first game.
Yeah, I mean, this is the complete opposite once again, but Gadgets come down, Memi picks up the left-hand side, just Melty surviving, and he shouldn't be too far behind them if he chooses to take this 3v1 match bond, but so far he actually survives it out, gets taken down now, and should have probably waited for his teammate there. Levi going to be able to pick up this right-hand side. Kenji not going to be able to be killed just yet, but eventually Chappy's going to put the killing blow in and get the takedown. Nice tank to drop the base from Levi there as well, knowing he was going to have that shot coming towards him when he landed. Memi going to try and break up some of these walls, place some sandbags down and bring Melty along with him, and they've taken the lead already.
Mimi playing this left side has been troublesome for Melty in a lot of ways. You saw sort of the way that players tend to play Stu is with that auto-aim, right? Consistently line up some of that auto-aim, whether it's a super, whether it's a shot, and with him being in the bushes, it completely disrupts that rhythm. Kenji has reacted, now trying to move over to that left side, though it's not really working too many wonders for them. Levi firmly cemented on this right side, could get pinched, but he's safe, so safe and sound, and Achapi gets some easy pot shots as a result. Just staying on the edge, Kenji, Melty, and Kuru now closing in for the retake, but man, are they walking a tightrope. Just 5% left for Reject to take things back.
I mean, and Chape's not missing either. He's literally just hit like 4 shots in a row and brought this one back for his team.
Some very, very tough stuff. Stuff that is just now broken into the scene. It's only been a few days that Amber's new gear has been in the game, and they're able basically to shrug it off, mostly due to how good they are as a unit. Now that we move into Backyard Bowl, though, things are gonna start switching up just a little bit. Once again, a familiar face here on Brawl Ball that gives way to some of the longer range brawlers, which I think will bring out some of the best gameplay here in East Asia.
I mean, at this point, it's not a prediction of who's going to win this map. I think we got to predict how many draws we're probably going to have on Backyard Bowl. I think that's a more common thing at this point, but at the end of the day, Meg going to be the first pick, and after that one, maybe we can just say Rejects are probably going to win it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the boat with you there. I mean, this is not only a brawler that enables incredibly effective pushes, whether offensive, defensive, but also will probably draw things out, right? Not only drag things out for a long time, but give way to a potential draw, because already Backyard Bowl was pretty prone to this, and now we got the indestructible walls. Now we have the Meg on one side. She's in that mech by default. She's healing while in the mech if she's not taking damage. And Kenji on the B is an incredibly defensive pick as well. That's going to be quite good versus the Meg. I would say strap in, because this is going to be a fun one. We'll see how many draws we get in this match.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I actually wouldn't hate a Byron coming in. Just sit a Byron behind that Meg and it'd be pretty solid. You know, I was judging it in that first set, but I think now it'd be pretty solid. Ruff's going to be returning this time for Chasmac rather than Reject. B Ruff's combo, and I mean, it's probably the smart pick. Not only is it a good brawler, but it takes it out the hands of Reject to be able to tank those B shots.
You have to wonder whether we see the Janet again. Of course, that Byron is also another viable option for Reject. But these two brawlers, we've already seen them play. They might be a good reaction to this. Melty could have those sandbags pierced through by a Janet. And you already mentioned the Byron. Pair it up with the Meg and just let it go. Here's the Byron selection, and this could be the exact same thing. We've seen this repeatedly also in East Asia, that there's a tendency to pick the same brawlers repeatedly, even across different modes. They need to be cautious, though, because if Chasmac Gaming EA have that ultimate Achilles heel located, they have that counter pick, and they could be setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah, we'll see what the last pick is here, and obviously Chasmac are going to have that final pick, so they'll be able to counteract pretty much whatever Reject bring to the table, so they do have to be a little bit cautious about that as well. So far, I like the kind of combination they've got, and the fact that Meg's not even going to be taking those reduced heals anymore. It's full Byron heals behind it is really, really difficult for them to deal with. And Byron, he's got pretty much a say in the fight against B no matter what. So if they choose the matchups, they might not even have to just do this spam heals in the back of Meg and let her walk forward kind of route towards this. But pick should be coming in very, very shortly, and we'll see what Rejects will bring to the table.
Have to wonder also what exactly the method of dealing with B is going to be, considering that, yes, Byron's already on the field. Does he have that much damage? Oh, and you know what? Turns out that, yeah, it's like the same old in East Asia. And Trav, also, you and I think, are just pretty good at predicting what Reject are going to pick at this point, because we've already said this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the Byron and Janet has worked so well for them previously. Throw a Meg on top of that, and you got a recipe for success.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Janet is really, really incredible, especially in the hands of Levi, but I like the Carl, and I think Chasmac have got a good comp as well. If B can deal with the Meg, start to get some of those 3k shots cycling here and there and getting some damage down, Carl can do the same towards some of those other brawlers, pick his fights, get those flying hooks in, then Chasmac can win this one.
They absolutely can. Reject have some strong brawlers on their side, though. They have some good dodges on their side, too. Kenji's going to get that first powered up B, though. Achapi withstanding a lot of pressure. First set of sandbags on the right side don't seem to be much of an issue. Minmi's just the main healer on top of Achapi. First time he's going to be thrown out of his mech, though. as he now looks to recharge things. Pushes that ball up the right side. He's also got a 50% shield on him, taking a lot of damage. Another set of sandbags down. Melty now with the super, going for 1-2 kills. And Kenji looks to advance things up that right side. Here comes the Honey Molasses to slow things down. Maybe get a kill onto Minmi. If he's able to pinch things off, he will have staggered Reject's offense a lot. And here it comes. And a supply drop down for Kuru. A good outlook for Chasmac Gaming EA. If they're able to turn this 3v2 into a 3v1. Doesn't look too optimal, though. Levi and Achapi are holding the back line so effectively. Minmi's able to return to the battle, and we're back to a 3v3.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would have liked to see an early goal coming out of Reject, especially with these kind of heals that are being brought down onto Achape, but they get the takedown on the right side. Flight from Levi once more, and we know how well he is, how good he is at connecting those shots. Pass through, he's landing on the ball, and it goes in the goal. Levi and the boys on Reject with a phenomenal play. The passing plays, they're just so strong.
Oh, that's just what you'd love to see. That brings a tear to my eye. Wonderful gameplay from Reject so far against what seemed like an impenetrable defense. Just fly over the walls, make it that easy. Of course, it's not that simple. Reject are just that good. And Achapi, already deep in enemy territory, will still be able to backcap this one. No way! That's filthy! And Reject bring us.
And, you know, we spoke about it before, but that is just complete proof of what we're saying.
Oh my goodness. I mean, first of all, they've sort of defied expectations in a lot of ways. Not only have they made the Byron work yet again, but they've also gone for a goal with Janet landing on top of that ball that you just don't really see all that often. On top of that, managing to score a goal, even just one, in Backyard Bowl and make that ×2. Though, still, ×2 is, well, the layout from Reject so far is just Minmi and Achapi. Soon their third will be joining them, probably up around that right side. Melty needs a viable opponent on that side. Kenji and Kuru also get the takedown on the left. Almost a reaction, though. Here goes Minmi. And Levi looks to continue this offense. More so trying to hold the back lines than anything, enable his teammates to push up. Melty has a super, but it's not going to be too useful for closing in versus Achapi. If he's able to get on a Minmi, that would be optimal, but Achapi's closely guarding him on this right lane.
Yeah, has left him a little bit now, and he might choose to go aggressive, but that might leave an opening for the rest of them, and he doesn't even get him. The splash gets the takedown for Minmi there, and Achapi's still looking to push this ball forward. Kuru has a super as well to try and knock him back. A little bit of a wall break coming in, but doesn't get a lot done with it. This swipe could be devastating. Honey Molasses is going to be placed, and Achapi can't seem to get rid of the ball, but he's getting heals for days from Minmi, and he's playing that so well, but does come out of the mech now and should fall down shortly after.
Wow, that Honey Molasses was absolutely devastating for Achapi. It allowed Kenji and Kuru to peek him so effectively, and now without a bodyguard, here goes Minmi. Levi takes to the skies to get a bit of chip damage in here, might even be able to get an elimination onto Kenji. Circles over to Kuru, down goes that drop the base, but it can't protect him from his own fate. Kuru and Melty able to continue playing defense around this position. We need to score a goal here. Doesn't look super possible until overtime when they're able to really flex their dominance with Kenji and his B. Achapi still out of the mech. Chasmac Gaming EA trying their best to deny him that super. Even once they take him down, though, they gotta move fast to score this ball.
I mean, even in overtime, that's one-sided towards Chasmac? They've got the Byron, the Janet, they've got a Meg on the other side, and they've got a Ruffs and a Carl on the other. Like, it might be pretty even with this B on the side of Chasmac Gaming. Chappie needs to work for another mech here, or this could be coming downhill quite quickly for the side of Reject. And CMG might burst into a little bit of a comeback, but Levi trying to get some shots down the right-hand side. We know what he can do, even on his own, but these walls staying up is a big reason why we see so many draws on Backyard Bowl.
Well, let's take a look at Achapi. I mean, he's been out of that mech for so long that he's actually lost his shield. This could be a good opportunity for Melty to start pushing in. Kuru and Kenji trying to get some chip shots at range. Achapi's got to be close to this super, but he doesn't have it yet. Here comes the play in for Melty. Take down onto Achapi, but Minmi remains alive. Achapi's now going to be spawning back with that mech. He has just enough time to start turning this into a victory for Reject. A bit more time, just 25 seconds on the clock. Bit of a power up for Melty. Levi now taking for the back lines. Could be big destruction. Kenji, Kuru could be next. Achapi has that super. A pass to Minmi could clear things, but he's on such low health. This has got to be the play. Pass to Minmi. Super. No, not good. Kuru blocks it, and with 10 seconds left, Chasmac Gaming try to bring things back. A pass up to the middle. Levi trying to block it off. Kuru has enough health. Could it be the pass? No, no pass at all. Melty not able to pick it up, and it's a draw.
We'll say not really favoring either team as we kind of predicted, but now we're going back into the start of a game, and usually this would be reject-sided.
You usually would, and if they're able to pull out something from that bag of tricks of there, maybe get some action on the back lines from Levi if he's able to take to the skies and then parachute down to the ground gracefully on top of that ball. As long as it's in position, it could be a goal. They've made it happen twice in that first game, but we just didn't see it in game number 2. Still, a lot of aggression. Levi could be in position. Melty equipped with that super, able to get 1-2 takedowns. This could be it. Kuru has the wall break at the ready, but no one's picked up that ball just yet. They're more focused on taking an offensive position and trying to trap things in spawn. Buy enough time for Carl to come back and then enable the goal to be scored.
Yeah, it's a smart move, especially with Kenji in this position. Honey Molasses slow, everything pretty much coming down. Now they'll spin in, tailspin from Melty. He's got that protective pirouette as well, but Chappie almost gets Kenji and relieves all of this pressure pretty much, but he does survive just a little bit longer. Respawn's coming in now from Reject, and that might be enough to push them out, but still, we've got the slows from Kenji. We've still got the Honey Molasses as well in hand, and might be too tough of a thing to break for Reject.
This is a very oppressive offense. Oh, big combo here, but it's not going to go through. Achapi's still trying to defend it. He passes right around Kenji, who looks for this goal. Minmi and Levi both low on health, trying to block off that goal, but Melty's in here to pick up the pieces, get that super charged up, and clear the way for a slow roll in from Chasmac Gaming EA.
Well, we need an answer now from Reject, or as this could quickly get away from them and head to a 5th set. Chappie getting hit so heavily, and they seem to just be focused down on him, and Melty just going for his prime targets instead of going towards the people he shouldn't be. Actually getting some kills now, but a pinch coming in from Levi. 40 seconds on the clock. Looking for Kenji. He does bring him quite low now. Hits another one as well, and that should be a takedown for him. Can he guarantee the kill? He does. This needs to be the springboard that Reject used to move forward, and it might be just that.
Levi getting a whole lot of heals, but it wasn't enough for him to pass this one into the goal. Here comes Melty, now in with the super. Almost a takedown into Levi, who goes up to the skies, claiming Kuru's life in the process. Kenji also looking to investigate things here, gets that last bit of damage onto Levi. Chasmac Gaming EA in the lead. They might be able to finish it out here. Achapi's trying to maintain position, but there's just no help. Chasmac Gaming EA will be taking this game and equalizing the scoreline within seconds.
Goal score opportunity. They had that rough super, had the wall break, but they just waited. They played it slow, they played it smart, and that's what Chasmac need to do. Melty was picking his matchup so much better as well, and using those flying hooks so smart.
It's really excruciating sort of watching Chasmac Gaming EA try to maintain that offense, because while they're able to, they're really just making it through by the skin of their teeth. It's really difficult for those guys to maintain that position, and even facing this team, this composition of brawlers on their own territory, it's devastating. Here comes a swing from Achapi, but Kuru's able to push this ball back on the left side, eliminating a goal-scoring opportunity for now, constructing a fortress out of sandbags on the left side, and just barely getting taken down. Drop the base down from Levi. It's his 3rd one already spent. And Chasmac Gaming EA might be able to defend this and drain him of gadgets very early on in the game.
Yeah, but can they defend it? That's the question. The splash comes down, and that's surely a walk. Someone tanks, someone walk, and that's a goal. They're waiting maybe a little bit too long, but they do get it in anyway. Achapi forces the ball in the right-hand corner. Reject going to take the lead, and they are a match point. 1:20 between them and the game.
Which is usually a lot of time, but for Chasmac Gaming EA to push things all the way back and even get some wall break to enable a goal, open things up on the side of Reject, it's just not that much. And Reject are really constructing a fortress on this back side, already cornering that ball too. Levi's going to be a tough brawler to get past, and Kuru has to play extremely carefully, knowing that he might not get the super back if he goes down here, taking a lot of damage. Melty trying to rotate over this lane for an optimal matchup. Kuru rotating over towards the right to face versus Minmi. It's unclear whether he has gadgets to finish the job. Still does have a gadget left. Here it comes. In fact, has one more after this. Quickly taken down. Chasmac Gaming EA still, of course, in this race. Just the last set of sandbags down, and Melty goes for the big play. Levi takes to the skies, a swipe from Achapi. 30 seconds left. Just a long way to go and a short time to get there for Chasmac Gaming EA.
Yeah, this is just not a possibility. Regents have got the control. They've got the ball in their control as well. Back in their corner, 20 seconds. Melty's got flying hook, but how far can he get with that alone? Splash comes in. He's one shot. He can't get anything done. Kenji trying to make the last breakthrough, the last push, but there's just no possibility there for Chasmac Gaming EA. And it's going to be Reject who head on to the finals once again, looking for yet another crown.
Spins, pins out. It's a reject win. But, yeah, there's the smile. Okay, usually it's just stone face and, yeah, another day in the office. We're going on to the next stage, but a well-deserved reaction. A little celebration, but it's far from over for this team because, hey, they still have their eyes on the prize. Winning the grand finals is the ultimate objective for these guys.